again, it's Meryl Goldsmith along with John Mayer, and we have Greg and Justin here, and they are part of the architecture company that is responsible for just designing all of this. What's the name of your company, Greg?
Merrimack Design Architects.
I met Greg 5 years ago, and all of this was just a dream. And I think Greg made the gesture, said, you know, I'd be willing to work with you on the project. And I think he was surprised when we contacted.
When the phone rang, right, John?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. So we began.
Yeah, we looked at different spaces when we initially met.
Yeah, it's been a thrill working with Greg and Justin too. I mean, they both brought, you know, a vision and a style to the space that I could hardly imagine.
I think it's such a beautiful mill space that we just chose to celebrate the space and reveal the beautiful architectural elements in the space, like the masonry walls, all the vestiges of the former uses of the space with the masonry arches in the wall and the cast iron columns.
Justin, it's just so inviting.
It is, yes.
Yes, isn't it though? You know, between the, you know, leaving all of the features and the big windows and the light and, you know, the light colored walls, it's just inviting.
It is, and I think that was part of our inspiration for setting it up how we did. You know, you come in this door and then you're opened out into the space.
How does it feel to be standing in it now versus standing in it, you know, when this first started? Was it like pull your hair out kind of standing in when you first started, and then you're like, wow, this is terrific?
Well, I think when we first walked in the space with John, I think it became clear to me almost immediately the way that the space should be organized, and I just think it was fairly straightforward. You know, we just worked with the existing lines in the space.
When we came in, it's a beautiful space. So it's just how do we translate that into a museum space that you can appreciate what's here.
Yeah.
And we had specific things that we wanted to make sure happen. You know, we struggled to get the ductwork layout correct and hide all the mechanical equipment and have the space organized so that, again, it appears seamless. The ducts run perpendicular to the structure, and we have the light tracks are arranged in each bay, centered in each bay, and we hit all the mechanicals. The HVAC supply, air ducts, and returns are all integrated. So again, the emphasis is on it being a public space and for the display of the Industrial History Center objects and
So I think the, you know, the lines, how clean the space looks. I mean, it feels simple, and it feels like a colleague of mine always said, oh, it looks like it growed there. You know, which is, I think, kind of the highest expression of, you know, achievement. But what that hides is the amount of work that goes into making that happen. So, you know, I come in the space and you say, oh my God, is that all it is? You know, because of the amount of work that's behind making it happen. And, you know, everything's hidden. Everything's definitely thought through. You know, it creates the foundation for the programs that are going to happen. The fact that, you know, the doors are transparent, we look out onto the mill yard. That's exactly the program that we want to emphasize. So it's, you know, in a very quiet way, it's a huge achievement that takes a tremendous amount of planning and work and oversight, and, you know, I'm grateful where we are.
So will you gentlemen join me, because another big change is the community room, which we're very excited about on so many levels.
Yeah.
So
right.
let's go see what happened over there. Come on, we're going to go this way.
Yep.
We're all standing in front of the community room, and it is such a wonderful space. I mean, I remember before the walls were even up, and now we have shelving and cabinets, and you can even see where the flat screen TV is going to be, and it is just a beautiful room. Right here is going to be a big window.
Right.
So if you are using the community room, you know, it'll be separated from the rest of the Industrial History Center space, right,
Yep.
John?
Right. The intent here is that it's available for groups to use for meetings, Our flat screen TV is something that we'll use for an orientation film. There's an exhibit wall. So for small changing exhibits, we'll offer, very responsive displays. And we have bookshelves for small artifacts in some of our library as well. And our hope is that companies will want to come here and use this for a meeting. Doors can be closed. We'll probably have blinds up. That'll make it a discreet space.
It has an acoustical tile ceiling, so it's designed for community meetings and for groups to gather and to have presentations in there. And again, the glass was to maintain acoustical privacy for groups that meet in there, but also to take advantage of borrowed light, because this space is single loaded. It just has windows and doors facing the mill yard, and we're one story down below High Street on this end of the building. So that was one of the devices to make the space more welcoming.
Yep.
Is to have transparency and also for visitors to see, to activate the space that there are things going on with groups in that space. So.
I mean, there potentially could be several things going on at the same time, John, because,
absolutely.
the space, is kind of an L, the open area. Then
Right.
you have this enclosed, and there could be lots going on at one time. I think
Absolutely.
it's perfect.
Right, yeah. Have full internet and computer access. Even if students wanted to do research projects, they're welcome to come and use the space. I definitely see businesses coming to us and wanting to have regular meetings here. All our committees and staff, and it'll be, full use. It's going to be great.
The mill yard as a design concept in the 1980s was brilliant, and I think the problem with it is that they hadn't found ways to activate the perimeter of the mill yard, and I think this is the first real public space that engages the mill yard, where people can visit and come in and learn about the history of Amesbury.
And John, if people would like to help continue to fund this project, that's kind of important,
We're still
right?
in a position where we welcome support for our project. Our capital campaign is underway. You can visit our website, industrialhistorycenter.org/give, and there's a place where you can make a contribution to the campaign. I think we have close to 200 people who have donated to the project. So it definitely is a community project, and we welcome everyone to be involved.